Hello, believers of Christ. Hope you're doing well. So, today I'll be taking you guys through Genesis chapter 5, verse 10. And it says, after he became the father of Cainan, Enosh lived 815 years and had other sons and daughters. That's the word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. So this verse has 7 main teachings or lessons we can take away from it. The first one, God blesses with longevity for a purpose. Enosh lived 815 years after Cainan's birth, showing that God granted long life for his divine plan. This reminds us that our time on earth is given to fulfill God's purpose, as seen in Psalms chapter 90 verse 12. That's a spoiler, we'll get there. Yes, every human being has a purpose, a divine purpose on earth. The second teaching, the command to multiply continues. Enosh had many sons and daughters, fulfilling God's command to fill the earth, as seen in Genesis chapter 1 verse 28. Yeah, episode 28. Go check that episode, guys. It was an amazing episode. This teaches us that God values family and the continuation of righteous generations. The third teaching, each generation must raise godly children. Just as Seth raised Enosh in faith, Enosh had a duty to teach his children about God. This reminds us that our responsibility is not just to have children, but to raise them in God's ways, as seen in Deuteronomy chapter 6 verse 6 to 7. That's a spoiler, we'll get there. The fourth teaching, a quiet life can still be significant. Enosh wasn't as well known as Noah or Adam, but his faithfulness helped preserve a godly lineage that we all come from. This teaches us that faithfulness matters even if we don't receive public recognition. Yes, faithfulness to God matters. Even though it's not public, it still matters and it is important. The fifth teaching, God uses families to fulfill his purpose. Enosh's descendants led to Noah and later to Jesus Christ. This shows that God works through families to bring about his greater plan. Yes, God is a family man or woman. God is a family man or woman, depending on, that's self-explanatory. The sixth teaching, the righteous line was preserved. While Cain's descendants followed a sinful path, Enosh's family continued to worship God. Yes, Cain's descendants, we saw them in Genesis chapter 4, the previous chapter. They were a sinful lineage, but Enosh's lineage was a faithful lineage to God. This shows that we can choose to be part of God's faithful remnant, even if we're in a sinful world. Yes, we can choose faithfulness to God even today. Whether the world is sinful or not, we as Christians should remain faithful to God, no matter what. And we should remain faithful in God always, as Christians. The seventh and final teaching, time should be used for God's glory. Enosh lived over 900 years in total. But what mattered most was his faithfulness. 900 years, that's crazy. That's a lot of time. 900 years of life. That's crazy and unimaginable in today's present timeline. This reminds us to make the most of our time by living for God, as seen in Ephesians chapter 5 verse 16. That's a spoiler, we'll get there. We as Christians should use our time wisely for God's purpose. Long life is meaningless without fulfilling God's plan on earth. We as Christians should recognize family as a gift from God. Because children and descendants will continue God's work. They are a gift to continue God's work for us, Christians. We as Christians should raise the next generation in faith. We should pass on godly values to our children and those around us. We as Christians should be faithful. Even if we're not famous, we don't need recognition to be significant in God's kingdom. Yes. It doesn't matter if we're known or not known. What matters is our faithfulness in God. Yes. God looks at our heart, not how many people know us or, yes. We as Christians should live in ways that honor God. We should choose righteousness, even if the world is sinful. Yes, righteousness over sinfulness. Righteousness over sinfulness. We as Christians should trust that God works through families because faithfulness in one generation impacts many to come. We as Christians should remember that what we do now affects the future. Our lives can leave godly legacies for future generations. So that's all I had for today, guys. Thank you very much, and as usual, God bless.